And man, this is the Late Bloomer Podcast. And today, we got coming to the platform. Basically, it's a collaboration. We got Big Wo. Better introduce yourself, but Star, go ahead, give him a little roundabout.
What's up? What's up? Rich Risings. I'm Big Wo. I'm from North Carolina. I keep telling people I'm gonna stop saying that because I say that every time. But I'm from North Carolina. I just got here in August, and I'm a. I just started calling myself. I ain't put it out yet, so this was my first time. I am the musical Harriet Tubman. I feel like I connect the dots, and so many people use that slogan. I felt like I could just say it another way. So you know how Harriet Tubman bring everybody freedom. I slick connect people to where they need to be connected to in the industry. And
You
I
know,
just started doing podcasting not too long ago. Well, not really podcasting, but like interviews for artists at different events. Um, what else I do? I do artist management. I do artist development. I only manage one artist. I'm not doing that no more. Let me put that out there. But I manage a artist. I do artist development, label representation, consultations for different things. I help artists basically get to learn what they need to learn to get them further in their career. So that's basically what I do.
man, attaching yourself to Harriet Tubman, that's kind of like that's deep there, man.
Oh God,
You
because
got to
look, I was
stand
thinking
on
about
this,
that.
man. Any type of correlation to Harriet Tubman, you know what I'm
Man,
saying?
listen.
That's some big shoes to follow. So let me ask you this: why do you say I heard it a little bit, but just for the listeners and the followers, why do you say you the Harriet Tubman of this?
Okay, so a little synopsis. Like I was calling myself like, the main thing people say is jack of all trades because I do more than one thing. You know
Okay,
what I mean? And then I ended up being like an association to connecting the dots. But I've heard that so much out of all the states and cities I've been to, it's always somebody that connect the dots. But can you connect the dots and then help people get out of that hole that they was in? You know what I mean? Because I could connect the dots. I could connect you with some people I know, but I'm not gonna follow up with you. I'm not gonna help you get to that point where you're comfortable enough to like leave you on your own. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So I feel like that's a Harriet Tubman thing. It's not fully Harriet Tubman, but I just like that analogy.
That's the
And
closest,
respect to
closest
her. Shout out to her. You know what
for sure,
she
for sure,
helped our people get up out of there.
for sure. I
That's what
mean,
I want to do. I love to help people. Like once I get to my top range in my life with fulfilling my purpose is to be a philanthropist. Like I want to just help people no matter what. So
how Memphis been receiving you so far?
they love me unless they just flexing like they like me and they really don't.
I got you. I got you. What kind?
They really
What
do.
What scene have you been in since you've been here? Have you been more so on the creative side of things, around the creative bunch, the clubbers, the hippies? Like, what type of vibe you been around since you've been in Memphis?
All of the above. And I talk about white, black, African. It don't matter. I've been in with the rock bands. I've been with the live bands, the soulful, the club scene. That's why it's like I'm gonna call it hood. I guess you could put that in a wide range of things. Umbrella. I've been to a lot of networking events with all shapes, sizes, genres of music. My next thing, I just Uber driver I had, she heard my music because I did a not a podcast, what is it called, a one shot, like a live with Memphis Media.
Yeah,
I did that with my daughter, and she asked me where I was going to, and it kind of started the conversation, and I told her who I was, and she was
shout
like,
out
"Damn,
to
I heard
Memphis
that name
media
before." I was
too,
like, "I do
man.
music." So she heard my music on Facebook, and she gave me some insight on I forgot the name of the place, but they do like live orchestras and stuff. So I play string instruments. That's my main thing. I play the cello, violin, viola, and the bass. So the cello is my main instrument. So to connect with that, that was like I was like, yes, that's what I really want. So I got connections with that, so I'll be tapping into that. But mainly just places with live bands, those soulful, what y'all call it, like Anthony Q, uh, like some trail ride music. What's the name of it?
Cafe music? What you mean?
No, no, like dang, I don't know the name of it. I got it, but it's not coming out right now.
Okay.
But
Indie,
it's like some soulful.
hold on. I don't know the name of it, but go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, I can't think of it right now. And I just was um man bump that. But yeah. I done been to K3 Studios, Brenson's, Growlers. Um uh it's a place in I think Germantown is I forgot the lady name, but they have Soulful Sundays. I went to that. That was a different crowd of people. So a little, I've been around. I'm still going.
Were you surprised that, like, I just recently thought about this today, though. You know what I'm saying? Just far as when I sit back and think of some of the variety of people who I've had on, like, Memphis is slowly, like, we behind on certain things, but Memphis is becoming one of those cities where it's a little bit of this and that, like, far as in the entertainment field. It's not just rappers and musicians. Like, you got movies, you got authors, book writers, you got people that play the instruments. Like, it's a lot going on in Memphis. So were you surprised that when you moved here that Memphis, beyond the hip hop scene, just that underground scene was going on? Were you surprised?
Nope. Nope, not at all. Cause where I'm from, yes, I feel like of course it's gonna be the Pooh Shiesty, the Glorilla, the Dolph, the Black Youngster, CMG, all of that, of course, because that's what's in the media.
The main
But you
story.
gotta think about when you have underground artists and people who are in the underground world, you're gonna tap into you're gonna run into that. But as far as like overall, I wasn't shocked because like I said, I'm an orchestra kid. Like I started playing string instruments in the 6th grade. So I learned about y'all in the school books. You know what I'm saying? They telling us about the blues players and the jazz players and the how music started from, how it came down south and then came all the way up and then went up to New York. How some of the trumpet players and blues players, bass guitar players, they came from Memphis and they went to Cali or Arizona. You know what I'm saying? So it's the Stats Museum. You know what I'm saying? Elvis Presley, even though he ain't black, but Elvis, we learned about y'all at school. You know what I'm saying? So y'all have a big staple over in the whole the world really, but United States, y'all have a big staple. And it's like people in Memphis have to grasp onto that y'all are greater than just what y'all are. It's in every one of y'all. It's like y'all have that in y'all blood. Y'all your own culture, and y'all are not just first 48s. I tell people this all the time. Cause when I call back home, they be like, hey, you seen this, you seen that? I was like, bro,
But let me ask you
get
this.
off there,
Let me
but
ask
it's
you
not
this.
on that everywhere.
True enough, you're not on it everywhere, but have you been aware of that side of Memphis? Are you aware of that side of
Yeah.
Memphis? Like, do you know about that dangerous side here?
Yeah. I ain't never experienced that shit like hands on seen it, but I done pulled up and it's been like 2 weeks ago I was with my homegirl down Winchester going towards Third, and they had like 4 or 5 blocks. It was just so many police, so much yellow tape, so many vans and news and all that. But to me, it's like, bro, you gonna see that anywhere you go. Like, why are y'all trying to stem that just on one city? You know what I mean? Like, I lived in Atlanta, same thing. I lived in Raleigh, North Carolina, Durham, North Carolina, same thing. Fayetteville, same thing. Where I'm from, same thing. Like today, they just had a quote unquote I ain't gonna call it a mass shooting, but it was a neighborhood that's really known for bullshit. They had a shooting on that. I just scrolled up. I didn't want to see that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to look at it. You know what I mean? So it's everywhere you go. It's just I don't call. I think we had that conversation when I first talked to you. I don't reciprocate that type of energy. I don't put that out. I'm not worried. A lot of people be like, well, you need to keep your eyes open. Like, I know I'm covered. You feel me? And I'm not stupid either. I'm not finna go to no places. That's why I don't go to clubs. I don't go out to have fun. I go out to network. If I network and I feel that energy is a little shifting, I'm in there, shake hands, whatever, do a little 1, 2, and I'm out. You feel me? I'm not staying there all night in the parking lot pimping and all that. I'm not doing that. So I don't get to see the foolishness. I might have been to a club and then that night shit got crazy. But you ain't gonna see me there. I'm getting up out of there. So I mean, it's wherever you go at, and even with like the clicks, that's my main thing. Everybody tell me it's a click. This is a clicky place. That's everywhere you go. People gonna click up, be with who they want to be with. It's the same thing everywhere.
What's the difference between networking in Atlanta and networking in Memphis?
Atlanta is more, um, um, I don't know why the first word was I wanted to use is homey. Atlanta make you feel like you at the crib with your folks. Like, you know what I'm saying? They make you feel like I'm not gonna say more welcome, but it's more like the energy is different. Like, I'm talking about spiritually. When you there, you feel like you belong. You feel like Black Wall Street. I've been to Wall Street once, which was earlier this year. So I get what they say when they say Black Wall Street, because there's so many people who put their business out in the forefront. So many Black people, melanated people who are doing the work. You know what I'm saying? They are coming together doing the work. Of course, you got that little segment of people that's on bullshit or think they better, but it's a more higher percentage of people who are working together. And so many events be going on networking wise. And a lot of those people in Atlanta, they make moves. Like, they always in and out flying. I think it's maybe because they airport is kind of like, I don't know. It's like from here to Memphis, 45 minutes on the flight. From here to Wilmington, it's like an hour on the flight. From here to Texas, like 2 hours. You know what I mean? So it's, I don't know if they fly faster or what. I don't know if that's even a thing, but they can get up and go. You know what I'm saying? They willing to just get up and go. And what I noticed about Atlanta, a lot of people is not from Atlanta. So you got a lot of people that come and migrate in Atlanta, and then they don't keep the information to themselves. So you might have some people from New York, Texas, Cali. They've been there since they was in like they was 15, 16, you know what I'm saying? Or 20 in their 20s. But they bring the information that they learned from where they from to Atlanta, and everybody just branch off and do their own thing. But it's still like a collective, if that makes sense. Now Memphis, I could
You
say
gotta learn that
the
shit on your
clicky.
own. You hear me?
Yeah, like y'all got that like
You gotta learn that
I,
shit on
I
your
wanna I wanna fuck with you, but I gotta I don't know. Like, you end up with that double dutch, man. I don't know. And then you finally get in there and it's like two other people want to knock you down. And then it's like you gotta have somebody else come and pick you up, like, come on, but it's all right, let me wipe you off. So you still looking at the next person like, man, I don't know. Cause the last two people, man, I was rocking with them since kindergarten and they slimed me out. Why you want to do good? You know what I'm saying? Atlanta is more so like they take it like, man, you slime me, it's cool. On to the next thing. They don't hold that chip on their shoulder. Of course, you got people who do. You know what I'm saying? But the majority rules and all things. So
get get
that's a
get a
difference.
little bit about background about coming up in North Carolina. What was it like?
Um. So for me, I was kind of like sheltered. So when I was coming up, my mom ain't play that. Whatever that looked like to you, she ain't play that. I went out at the they used to have this thing with the community boys and girls club, like a jam, where you go in there as teenagers and get the party like a damn adult. My mom wasn't going for that. They had lock-ins every week at the skating ring. We had got this skating ring that was so popular out there. It's called Scooters. When I was a kid, they used to have it where you can go in there and get locked in there till 12. You can't go out. You know what I'm saying? You can only come in. And my mom wasn't going for that. I've been to two because I went. I hope she ain't looking at this. But I went with my cousin and I saw why she didn't want me in there. They behind the arcade thing, humping, dry humping, kissing in the
Yeah,
bathroom, all types of
yeah.
shit. And I was just like, oh my God.
That's
So
what they
I
used
was
to
kind of
call it,
like,
a lock in, some shit like that. Yeah,
y'all had that too?
Hell yeah, they had that.
I know y'all did, man.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. Come on, man.
I know. But
Yeah.
I wasn't like I didn't get to go to that type of stuff. So my friends I came up with in school, like when I was at school, that was the best time of my life. I love school because I was able to. My mom ain't do sleepovers unless it was my cousins, and barely they did. I didn't get to go to people's
Question.
house.
Don't that
Mm-mm.
do does that make a young woman just being real when you grow up like that where you can't do nothing? Then once you get a taste of that freedom, don't that create a monster though?
Yes, that scenario is a very like no, that's a fact. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna say like, I like to do percentages because you got some people that's probably gonna listen to me and be like, "Well, I went like that." You know what I'm saying? You're in the percentage of those who were lucky who didn't have that experience. Like me, like my mom can vouch. I wasn't a bad kid. I wasn't disrespectful. I started cussing when I was 23 and moved to Atlanta. I started smoking weed when I moved to Atlanta and started cussing. So it was like I had so much respect for my elders when they was telling me things. I tried my best to listen. I ain't listen to everything. I wasn't perfect, but I wasn't the type of child that was just out doing, God know what. But when I was able to, I did. Like I wanted to know. It was like like how they say you get a sense of something. It
You
was
was
like I wanted to
curious.
know,
You was
like what's
curious.
that,
You was curious.
huh?
You was curious.
Yes, I just wanted to know. I'm like, so what's so bad about doing it? And then when I finally did, I'm like, and this all I've been waiting on this whole time. So it was kind of like I got pregnant at 18. I ran away from home, for my own reason. It wasn't like because I just wanted to be out in the streets. Had a situation happen with my mom, and I ended up leaving. And when I left, uh, I met my oldest daughter, sperm donor, and I got pregnant and I was in school pregnant and I was just looking like, bro, what in the fuck? You wait till you get to 12th grade to do this dumb shit? Like, come on, man. I still graduated, but I don't regret it. You know what I mean? But it's just, that's what happened. Like, I was so sheltered being around him and his family. They was wild. I'm talking about book wild. And I'm sitting there like, God dang, I got my first charge. I got a whole, just wanting to be outside so bad.
How
And to this
difficult
day, I tell my mama, I love you for being hard on me. I love you because now I know how to not raise my children how she did, but I still instill some of them things in them that I know benefited me, whether they want to hear it or not. Because to this day, like I still, it's still in me. You know what I mean? I went bad off, but I could have made some better decisions. So
I
went
think
that
you,
bad
you need to move back a little bit more though. Like sit back some. Yep.
like this.
Yeah. How difficult was that? I know you said no regrets, but how difficult is that being a teenage parent for you?
I
How
don't.
difficult was it for you?
I was about to say I don't want. I really don't want to say that because I don't want to influence anybody. But I'm not gonna lie. I was blessed. I ain't gonna lie. It was hard. I had some hard times, but
Yeah,
I was.
because it's different strokes for different folks. Like
Yeah,
everybody, I know some people had it rough, and you know what I'm saying. So I just wanted to know, was your experience rough though?
it was a little harder as far as like my mom did the best she could do, and she always like even as a kid I really didn't have that bond with her to where I felt comfortable to tell her or speak or ask certain questions about certain stuff. So she's very headstrong with if you don't ask you're not gonna receive. So it wasn't like she just set me down and talked to me about a lot of things. Certain things she did, but I never would ask her either because I was scared to ask her. So when I had my first baby, it was just she was so excited to be a grandparent. Like my mom ain't, she didn't play that. She until to this day she don't play about my kids. So I never really my kids never really wanted for nothing. You know what I mean? I ain't have to go stealing nothing. I ain't have to go do none of that crazy stuff. Like, and I just was blessed with people around me. Like my kids ain't never need no clothes and never needed shoes and Pampers and wipes. My mama bought wipes and Pampers all the way to from size 0 to size 6. You know what I mean? So by the time they got to size 4 and 5, they was already potty trained. So I done had like my next child come. She got that in her garage, plenty Pampers and stuff. So that was a blessing. Um, Not saying I never had to. Now I ain't gonna lie, I have been to a point where I had to do what I had to do, but not as often as I've heard people had to do, which is a blessing.
Gotcha.
And far as like working wise, my mama was a jack of all trades, so she ain't really she took care of us and ain't really go to a 9 to 5. You know what I mean? So I didn't see that part of like getting up in the morning. I saw my dad do that. You know what I mean? So my dad was going to work and bringing home the money. My mama taking care of the bills. But when I got in my own relationship, my own, my marriage with my kids and my family, that was kind of hard because I didn't see that, so I didn't really know how that looked, and she never explained it to me. So being with him at the time, he would just be like, I need you to help me, and I'm like, well, I'm trying. I'm feeling like because I'm doing everything at the house that was the right thing to do because that's what my mama taught me, and my aunties and my grandma. They all had a husband or a man to help take care of them. And then we in this new era of life is like you need two to do everything. Inflation with money, everything get raised up. It's so different. So that I feel like that was the hardest thing. Like finding somebody that was okay with how I was living at the time. You know what I'm saying? So
Gotcha. So, question, when would you say you got involved with music?
like what I do now or just in general.
Just in general.
Um, my whole family musically inclined. My mom, she's been singing before I was born. My mom's still singing right now, but she do praise and worship at church. But um, I just said this earlier today. My oldest is 6. She'll be 16 next week, and my second oldest is 14. But around my oldest three age and the age that I am now, my mama was doing the same similar things to what I'm doing now at that age. So it's kind of like even though I try to run away from it and not do it, it still ended up where I'm doing the same thing she was doing. But uh orchestra. I got 6th grade. Long story short, the orchestra was where I'm from is predominantly it's more white people than black people at that time. I don't know about now, but at that time, so all the schools I went to had more white people than black people and melanated people. I'm trying to get that out my vocabulary, but they came to my classroom and it was only one black girl that she played the cello. It was only one cello player. I don't know if y'all know what that is. I'm explaining for those who don't know, but it's the one that you sit down with and you hold it like that. You do that. And then there was one viola player that looked like a violin, but it's not a violin. The violin is the one that got the high notes. Of course, you play like that. The viola you play like that, but it's more like an alto note.
Mm.
And then you got the stand up bass, and it was a white boy playing that, a white girl playing the violin, and two black girls. So when I saw that, I was like, wow, like it's always Asian or white people that do that from where
Right.
I'm from. So it was like I didn't think I could do that. And I heard I'd never seen a cello or paid attention. I always seen the violin. Man, she got this playing on that mug. I was like, yo, it just like went from my toes to my fingers. I was just like, wow, like I want to do that. So I got up, volunteered to play. She helped me, like, you know what I'm saying, do the posture. And the teacher was like, I'm a natural. And then, I'm thinking like you just saying that because you're trying to recruit some more people on your team.
Right.
So I'm talking about that next semester, I signed up, and ever since then I've been playing. I still play to this day. Like that's my a part of my soul. Like so musically in that I've been doing that since 6th grade, and
Well,
then
go on break the cello out there. Go on play some real quick then. Show.
I ain't got it with me. It's in North Carolina.
Ah, okay then.
I wish I did. And look, when I get it, I want to get back up here. I'm gonna do it. Promise you.
Do you teach your kids classical music?
Yes, yes. They my favorite artist in that era is Yo Yo Ma. He's Asian. He played the cello. That's his main instrument, but he's the bomb. And even when I got married, like I didn't have like uh the Temptations, Avant, none of that playing. I had his music playing coming down the aisle. Like I was on that for real. Like they
I
know what's
had
up. My oldest played for a little bit, but she kind of not interested in anymore.
I had
Yeah.
this lady on my podcast named Miss Alexis Cole. She's a alto saxophone player.
Hmm.
So yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was a good
That's
one.
dope though. I always want my dad, my stepdad, my dad, he played the saxophone
Yeah,
for sure.
that sax
It's a
hard
beautiful
though.
instrument.
That sax hard. So when did you gravitate to like, record, like making, you know,
My own music.
your own music, moving away from the instruments and songs?
So what's 2024? It's about to be 25. So 22, um, I had this girl, she asked me to be her manager. I was helping her. And then I went to I was asked to be a judge at a showcase. I met the artist that I manage now. His name Aote. And I was there with him. I started supporting him. Long story short, he asked me to be his manager. I said no. And then we started working together. I started coming out to his stuff. Then I ended up becoming his manager. So I was more in the studio than I ever thought I would be. Because my parents got their own studio in the house. So it's like it's normal, but when you in the studios like set, that's different. You know what I'm saying? The big speakers, the loudness. I love music, period. So it's like when I'm at home, I play my music loud. I go in the car, I sit for hours and play my music loud. I sing amongst myself at home, but I never would sing out in public. I used to sing to my grandma. She passed away. So she was the only one who would really, not even my mama heard me sing for real. She the only one who heard me. So when she died, I just felt like that. I just let that go. You feel me? So that was 2012. So when I fast forward 10 years later, I started doing more music stuff. And just being in the studio helping people out like with certain things. I'm not doing it on purpose, but like if you had like a little bar or something and then you had somebody featured and I'll sing it real quick or I'll make a little note and to have people like turn like that was you. I'm like, yeah. Like I wasn't thinking about it. So I went to Zane Cash Studios in Wilmington, North Carolina, 22, 23. And um I was helping Freddie G. I was helping him with a song. And that's the first time I heard my voice on a track, like on the track. He kept saying, "Come on, whoa, you got to get on there." I was like, "No, no, no." I was so scared. So I got on there and I hearing myself back. I was like, "Dang, that sound all right." But I was still like, I don't know. So after that, it's like an addiction. I felt like I smoked my first blunt. I was like, yeah, I got to get in. But I was with my artist so much, I didn't want him to think that I was trying to do music because he was doing music. It's like it's in me anyway. I was just scared to do it.
Got
So
I
I
got
wrote my first song and then I recorded that. And that is called Breathe In. I didn't put that out yet. It's called Breathe In. And